Hi and welcome to this week's FridAI with me, Billie McLoughlin, where I cut through the fuss and get to the facts on the big bad world of AI and what it means for us as accountants, bookkeepers and finance professionals. This week I'm starting with news from JP Morgan, who have announced that their investment into tech is going to top $20 billion, which shows that even the biggest financial institutions are showing no signs of slowing down when it comes to investment. 1.2 of that is actually attributable to AI, but what's really important here is to know why they are spending so much, and that's because they have information trapped in legacy systems. So it's not just a case of AI is going to cost them that much money. That does include a full overhaul to be able to retrieve data that's perhaps trapped in a software from 1998. So I find it quite reassuring that even businesses and organisations as large as them have similar issues to smaller practitioners who, again, have these legacy systems that they need to pull information from. But great to see the investment and excited to see what this means for the customers. The BBC have reported, on the contrary, that unfortunately there's a huge backlash against AI, and there's now organisations worldwide scrambling to create a logo that is universally recognised that says something has been human made. I do get this, I think it's really great, but what I am seeing is there's a kind of divide in sectors here. So when it comes to creative sectors, we are sort of coming up with this rule that we don't want AI to be used. So for some reason in music and film and art, we do not want AI to be used, and we want to prove that something has kind of had the hands of a human touch it. Whereas when it comes to more kind of factual based industries, so if we are looking at finance, I do think that in 5 to 10 years, if something has had AI cast its AI over it, there's a pun in there somewhere, then ultimately that will be more beneficial and much more valuable, because AI can detect anomalies and mistakes on vast data sets much better than a human could. So I think we're going to see a divide in industries here, where in some we are seeking out that logo that says kind of human made, and in others we're probably going to be seeking out the one that says that AI has had an input in creating it. I've said it before, I do think clients will wonder why you're not using it to speed up processes, because ultimately time is money, and they will think if you are on a time-based billing that you are wasting time when you could be using AI. And also don't forget that if you are producing something much quicker, that is much more valuable to the client. So there's quite a lot to go at here. We saw a new product released last week at Fab with Easy Capture. These guys are an AI data capture tool. They concentrate on things like invoices, receipts, and document processing. I mean, the space is getting pretty crowded. There are a lot of tools available in this area, but for me, that says that this is kind of just a commodity now. You know, data entry is not a differentiator for your practice. Easy Capture do have a few tricks up their sleeve though, which I think are really great. So they've got a tool that does asset classification, and what's really great here is it can detect kind of what business you're in and then whether that product is an asset or not. So obviously in some industries, something could be bought, it could be an asset, whereas something else might be bought in another industry and it could be something to resell on. So it's good to see that they've got kind of a bit of clarity around that, and given that context, they can use it. They've also got prepayment detection and tools that are going to speed up the process too. So if you haven't heard of Easy Capture, go and have a look. I think they've got a 14-day free trial on their website. So it's good to see somebody else coming into the market and hopefully doing some great things. And whilst we're on the data capture, Apron have launched a new feature. An AI assistant, I think is called William. I feel like there should be a kind of creative way of calling him William and switching the A and the I around, but that's just me. But William is an AI assistant, and they've built this based on actual use cases and workflows that are done within bookkeeping practices, which is exactly what we need. We need people that understand what we do and how we do it. So one example is that it will connect to your client inbox. It can then look through the emails, search for any documents, pull them out, and then publish it into the tool. And obviously, because of their other features, it's then ready for review and payment, because obviously you can do that as well within the product. This works across supply payments, expense cards, invoice capture, and document workflows too. So right across the broad spectrum of what you might be using Apron for already. If you've used William, please let me know. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it. And I really do think it's going to get confusing if we're using human names for these AI tools. So sorry for any Williams that are working in your office. And finally, news from Apari Pro, which was the AI tool to help you with your tax returns, launching just in time for MTD. They've now partnered with Waltz Kluwer. So if you are a CCH user, you can integrate that into Apari Pro. The idea here is that they want to help you capture those clients that don't necessarily already use digital means of communication. So for those clients that are really struggling to get the information over to you, Apari Pro could be the answer. Something I really like about this tool is that you can actually brand it. So if you have certain brand guidelines for your firm, you can kind of tailor Apari and give that to your clients, and they will feel like it is a really nice connection to you rather than kind of a third-party tool. So yes, they've now connected with CCH, which is going to help with those quarterly submissions and year-end final submission. So if you've got any questions, do reach out to the team there. It's good to see some collaborations and AI and MTD joining forces, because they are definitely the hottest topics of 2026. That is everything from me this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have anything to tell me, any questions, any feedback, or anything that I should be featuring, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And of course, please share with me any use cases you've got on AI, because I love to hear them. See you all next week.